10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
You have been advised, people. What's up? Welcome to Week in Geek. How's everybody doing out there today?
Good.
Welcome.
Doing good.
I'm doing all right. I'm going to play every intro that you have. See how long it takes to play them all.
I wonder how long it would take, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 intros. I got 14 intros.
Damn.
Half of those are timers. Half of those are timers. I got the one I can't play anymore. Like, I can play a clip of it.
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained special mission.
I can't do very much of it because every time I play the whole thing, I get a copyright strike. And it doesn't give me a strike, but what it does is it takes the video down and makes it not playable in the US. So like I might as well not play it because then nobody can see the video. So I love that intro. I would play that every time. That is my favorite cartoon intro as a kid. Granted, I know it's not from the actual cartoon, it's from the movie, but you remember because with the G.I. Joe thing, they decided not to release it at the movies back in the day. If you're old enough, you remember this. Yeah. Because the Transformers movie had come out the year before, and to mixed reviews. I mean, it did fairly well, but like there was a whole thing with it, and it was that, and then they did a My Little Pony movie. I don't know. Hasbro did like 2 or 3 movies, cartoon, based on toys in like 1986 that they were going to release. And by the time they got to G.I. Joe, they had decided not to release it at the movies for a bunch of different reasons. And they actually changed the movie too. Like in the movie, originally Duke was supposed to die, but because of what happened to Optimus Prime and Transformers and how kids reacted to that, they decided not to do that.
It wasn't just Prime. They killed almost the entire season 1, 2 cast.
Yeah. So like G.I. Joe kind of got like knocked down a bunch. And which is sad. Because I love that movie. But like, so what happened was they actually ended up releasing it for me anyway. And I guess it depended on where you live. For me, it came on every afternoon, 5 days in a row. They split it up into 5, like 30-minute episodes with like Sergeant Slaughter doing the intro and outro between the commercials and stuff. So like at the beginning of every episode, they played that new movie intro, and it was awesome. And, so I still consider that, I know it's a movie intro, but I consider that a cartoon intro because I was first introduced to it as a cartoon, not as a movie. I had to watch the movie in 5 chunks, broke up over a whole week. So I don't know. Everybody saw it differently because it depended on what market you were in. Some places didn't get it till years later. Some people didn't see it till it came out like on VHS. You know what I mean? Like it would just depended on where you lived. I saw it for the first time because it was coming on in the afternoon after school.
Right.
Regular G.I. Joe episodes. And that's how I first saw it. I remember recording it on VHS and cutting out like we used to do. You hit the pause so you could cut out all the commercials. And I recorded it on one VHS disc. I came home from school every day just to record it and cut out the commercials. And I kept that VHS, and I wore that VHS out completely. Like, I wore that damn thing out.
Nerd.
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. And I abused that VHS tape till it was no good anymore because I watched the hell out of that.
VCRs help teach our reaction time cutting out commercials.
Yeah, they really did. Well, that and making mixtapes on cassette on the radio, remember?
Yeah,
you try to get it. You try to make sure you want to like make sure that you didn't get the DJ. You didn't want the DJ in there, so you wait till just when he's stopping to talk and you hit record, and then you try to catch it right before the DJ started talking again, where he was crossing over between the 2 songs and all that kind of stuff. So, But anyway, I absolutely am a huge fan to this day. The G.I. Joe movie I watch that at least once a year to this day. I've done that my entire life. Absolutely. I also love the Transformers movie, but if I'm completely honest, I actually like the G.I. Joe movie a little bit better than the Transformers movie. I love both equally, like not equally, but I love both movies. They're both fantastic. But I did G.I. Joe movie I like just a little bit more, and I don't know what it is. It was the theme song is awesome, although who doesn't? Yeah, that scene when Slaughter is just beating the hell out of Nemesis Enforcer is just one of the greatest movie scenes of all time. This is for Duke, like and this is for the U.S. of A. Like that. That gets you pumped up. But I love the intro, and it because it actually had an intro, right? Like the Transformers movie didn't really have an intro, although we did. You Got the Touch, which, by the way, fantastic 80s power ballad, and it's awesome. And the best part in that, the best part of that movie, my opinion, you may disagree. Best part of the Transformers movie is when they play that song like 50 times in the movie. By the way, like it's not just one scene that they play that song. It's like the song that pops up every time something's happening. But like the one scene when Rodimus gets the Hot Rod gets the Matrix, and they play the "You Got the Touch" like that. Fucking great. I love that scene. Anyway, yeah, no, but I love me some G.I. Joe and yeah, I love those movies, man. Those movies were great. Those movies are great. And I, as a kid, and maybe it was just me. I mean, I remember Transformers movie more fondly because Optimus died. Like, I remember not being upset that Optimus died. I remember as a kid of like, I guess I was 10 when that movie came out, 8, 9 or 10, whatever it was. I remember like it being a really powerful moment that shit was going down. You know what I mean? Like that made that movie more important.
Beginning of the movie, the Autobots that get killed on the shuttle, Ironhide basically, they don't full on show it, but it's pretty well implied that Megatron blew his entire head off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I loved. I mean, I didn't like that Optimus died, right? But like, it made that movie like, holy crap!
There was a lot of impact. That there's consequences to actions. It's like
and so like that, I still love that movie. I never was upset as a kid that they killed off Optimus.
And plus, like the animation style, just like with the Transformer movies and like Heavy Metal, like their animation style is just. Right, it kind of gets me. It's like pure nostalgia every time I see it.
Oh yeah, and especially that movie, and I will say, I think like between the two movies, the G.I. Joe movie and the Transformers movie, I think the Transformers movie had better animation.
Yeah, it's a big budget, like high quality.
Yeah, the G.I. Joe movie, like it did have better animation than the show did, but it wasn't as good as what the Transformers movie was.
It looked like something out of like a high-end anime, like the Transformers.
Yeah, exactly. It was really, really well done, and the animation quality in the Transformers movie is amazing. It's just got that movie animated quality to it that's hard to explain to anybody nowadays because animated movies.
What they call that style.
Well, animated movies changed so much. I mean, first of all, there's no hand-drawn animated movies anymore. And there haven't been for 20 years or more. And even in the 90s, when we were still getting some Disney movies, like they were really, really well animated, but it's not the same style of animation that we got in the 80s, where things looked more realistic. And I don't know, it's hard to explain. 80s movie quality animation was like this whole other level of thing that just popped and stood out. And
a bunch of lens flares. Lens
flares everywhere. Like that's where J.J. Abrams got it, by the way, was watching a lot of 80s animation. But yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Speaking of lens flares, when's the last time anybody in here, I watch this all the time, watched Robotech? Holy crap. I think that was the first time I was ever introduced to lens flares in animation was Robotech. If y'all have never watched Robotech, what's wrong with you, first of all? But yeah, the lens flares on that was absolutely insane. And I just realized I forgot something.
Did I watch
Robotech?
Robotech? I don't think I did.
Robotech? So, well, you know Macross, right? What the shit? I thought you were an anime fan.
The Valkyries, like if
no, I'm
just
getting into anime.
Son of a bitch! Well, you got to watch Robotech.
They kind of look like an F-14 Tomcat, but they turn into like mechs.
So Robotech, in my opinion, was maybe the only time, because I've watched, and I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Genesis Climber Mospeada. I've watched a little bit of it, and then what was the other one called? Southern Cross, Army of the Southern Cross, or whatever it was called. I can't remember what the other one was. And then obviously I've watched a lot of Macross stuff, but Robotech was one of the only times I can think of where anything that was brought in and reinterpreted from an existing anime was actually better than the original anime. In my opinion, I think Robotech was better than Macross. I think the story was better. I think everything about it was better. Now, Macross obviously went on to do a lot more stuff because they still pump out Macross cartoons and movies occasionally nowadays, which we haven't gotten anything from Robotech in a long. I think the last thing we got was Shadow
Harmony Gold. That's why we can't get anything in the U.S.
Yeah. What's the last one we got from Robotech? It was like Shadow Chronic. Was it Shadow Chronicles, or am I mixing that up with Babylon 5? They had something come out in the early 2000s. Was the last thing I remember that Robotech put out, and it was a movie like Shadow War or Shadow Robotech. I think it was Robotech Shadow Chronicles, and it was about the infinite invasion of Earth.
I'm looking right now. Right. It's all on YouTube. All the episodes.
Oh yeah. It's on YouTube. I think you can watch it on Amazon. Like, yeah. But yes, I love Robotech. But anyway, how did we get down here? I don't know. It's a geek chat.
All I know is I heard 1986 watching something after school, and I'm thinking, okay, I turned 21 in 1986 and was actively in the Navy. God, I feel old.
The Navy.
Damn, I was 3 in
you are. You are old, but that's okay.
I was 3 years old.
Anyway,
Leo, you and Honda, I think, are the same age.
Yeah, I think Honda got it like a year, maybe or 2. Yeah.
But
we can talk about the Ghost has entered the chat.
The Ghost? What?
Ahsoka, the Ghost.
Oh, the Ghost. Yes, we can't. Well, now hold on. I want to start with something else first, though. Before we get into Ahsoka, I want to start with something else here today. I want to talk about. I finished, and hopefully Jared, you did too. I finished One Piece.
Yep.
Season 1 on Netflix. Watched it. I actually, because my daughter was at school all week, and she didn't watch the first 5 episodes. She watched the last 3 with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go into more detail here, but it was really damn good. Like, I really, really liked it. I thought it was very well done.
In mind of like the old like action shows from the 90s, like Legendary Hercules, Xena.
Yeah,
it had that feel to it. It's not super big budget. It's the fight scenes remind me of something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. It was good.
Yeah,
I think it had quite a budget, but you know,
I was watching it with my daughter, and like I said, she missed the first 5 episodes. So we finished watching the last 3 because that's where I was. We had to watch 6, 7, and 8 today, and I was like, she saw me watching, and she's like, "You started watching this without me?" I was like, "Yeah, I had to watch it because we're going to talk about it on the show tonight." So I had to start watching it last weekend. And
like some of the big side was some of the choices of cinematography is like the weird angles. They'd always do the close-ups up, like everybody's like an upward angle and all the close-ups.
Yeah,
so it makes everybody look weird.
Well, I don't. I asked my daughter. I was like, "How much of One Piece did you watch?" Because I know she didn't watch all of it. Because there's like over 1,000 episodes. And she was telling me she's watched like. She said she's. She told me too, and I can't remember. Jared, you would know. I forget what she said she's watched too. She gave me the name of some One Piece saga, which was like 200 episodes in, and like 2 or 3 of the movies in was where she's at, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of like asking her questions while we were watching the last 3 episodes. I was like, okay, have you gotten to this part, And she did say the same thing you told me the other day about Luffy's grandfather. She's like, yeah, we're not supposed to know this. She's like, we're not supposed to know who that dude is.
Yeah, like, in the first season, you're not supposed to know.
Yeah.
It was probably 10 years before they revealed that in the anime.
Yeah. Yeah, she was saying, well, because she told me, she's like, I know that's his grandfather. She's like, but I haven't even gotten to the point where they reveal that yet. She's like, I'm not even to that part, that saga yet, where they reveal that.
They didn't reveal that until way after a huge fight with the Navy. His brother Ace gets killed, and he's recuperating on an island. Then Garp shows up, and they're freaking out because Garp's there. Then that's when they reveal that he's his grandfather.
No. Well, that's when they.
But we, as an audience, knew beforehand.
Yeah, we knew beforehand.
The actual people in the anime find out at that point.
Right. That's when. Yeah.
But anyway, they were crew for years,
right,
together before they found out Garp is his grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Garp was kind of struggling before Ace got killed. Well, man, we're going way into it. Wait for a season. But like we knew then, but he was kind of struggling, like during like his execution, like as his grandfather, he has to go through it, but really he's not his actual grandfather. I guess I won't spoil it at that.
Yeah, that Ace's actual father.
Yeah.
Oh, might as well say it because they'll say it right off the bat if they're season 2. They'll just say, "It's like, who is Ace's father?" Right off the bat.
But first, they have to introduce Ace. You think they're gonna do it in season 2 though?
I would assume so. It's very. Did you watch all season 1 yet?
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of jarring watching it because they condense so much down into just 8 episodes.
Right, they did at least 2 or 3 seasons with their one season. Damn near.
Yeah, that's what my daughter was saying. She said the fight, like at the end in the last episode, that takes up like maybe 15 minutes of the episode between them and the pirates. She's like, that's 3 episodes of the show. Is just that fight.
Yeah, so it was a major beatdown. It was like a wimpy fight compared to what they did in the anime.
Yeah. And that arc took over like 20, 30 episodes just to get to the fight.
Because it was a big shock when Nami betrayed them and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And they cut out the part where Nami stabbed Usopp. But trying to find out, right, she didn't really stab Usopp. She stabbed her own hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing my daughter was like as we were watching it, and I can't remember when they popped up. I can't remember at what point in the because they weren't in a whole lot of the show, but whenever what's his name? Kobe. Whenever Kobe popped up, my daughter goes, "Who's that?" And I was like, "That's Kobe." Why is Kobe a girl?
And plus, Kobe at that time period too. Kobe should have been like a teenager.
I was like, I was like, yeah. I told my daughter, I was like, hey, I don't think that's supposed to be a girl, but it's clearly a girl. So
I mean,
she's like, well, that's stupid.
They kind of got it right though. He actually looks like Kobe. But thing is, they just skipped the part where Kobe was a kid. It just made him the teenager.
Well, when he's that age, he should look a lot different. His look changes when he gets older and he gets more serious looking. It's like they introduce him and like the other the captain's like Brady, like a spoiled son. They have completely different looks when they start out to when they get because you do not see them for years in the anime. They're not full on characters like this right now.
Meppo. That's the other one name. Oh, Meppo.
Yeah. They way overused them in this first season. And Garp did not have this big bond with Kobe.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is that they started changing when Garp's like when Garp when they got with Garp and they started to train them. So that's when they started to change their looks. Then Meppo got the cookery, started training with those.
Yep. Another thing that bugged me too is the stupid teddy bear hats. Those should be like animal heads, not teddy bears. Like when Garp's wearing a dog hat.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like kitty looking.
Well, and is that what you were talking about, Leo, last week? You were like, it looked like they were cosplaying sometimes.
Yeah, like the colors are kind of bright. They really was trying to match the anime and stuff. Like the colors was too much on point for my taste.
Like too accurate for a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like it should have made it a little more realistic.
Yeah, probably like shabby it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And like some of the like the makeup is like it looked like they took a shower, then threw dirt on them to make them look like they was dirty.
Yeah.
And some of the set placements too, they all look like they were freshly built sets, and somebody just threw dirt on it to make it look like it was worn. But I get it, probably budget issues, but it was just too clean while looking dirty at the same time.
I think they would have benefit too. Like some of the casting they did, like what they did with Sweet Tooth on like a Twisted Metal. They got a big guy to do the physical role of Sweet Tooth, but they got somebody else to do the voice. And I think they should have like reached out to in the wrestling scene to get some bigger guys, because that guy that plays Garp he's done really good acting before, but he's not big enough. Garp's a big ass dude.
Yeah. Well, see, this is the thing, because I'm watching it having never watched One Piece. Like, I mean, I may have seen an episode or something. I don't know, but so I don't know all the like where it's different. You know what I mean? Like, I was listening to my daughter. She was like, what's wrong with Sanji's voice? I was like, what are you talking about? That's not how he's supposed to sound. And where's his mustache? He's supposed to be French and all this shit. Like, I'm just listening to her, like, go off on all these little things. And
Sanji doesn't get his mustache till like 15 years later.
Oh, okay. Well,
the first earlier season he don't have a mustache.
Yeah, okay. This is before what they call the time skip. They get their
2-year time skip
after like the big was it Marine
Forge?
Marine Forge. They have they get their asses handed to them after was it the big fat vampire looking dude was it Morio's on his island. They get their asses handed to them and they get sprayed across the globe.
About what's the name? One of the Navy officers. I can't remember his name.
He was actually a spy. He was actually a double agent for the Revolutionary Army that works for Luffy's dad.
Right.
But they do a 3-year time skip, and they all get stronger and they come back. Their looks change.
Yeah. So that's when Sanji get his mustache.
So having never seen it, I like the show, but I know nothing about the anime. So as somebody who's watched the anime, Was this show good enough that you're like looking forward to a season 2?
Yes. Period. Yes. Stay true to they didn't really change anything too big as far as time. As far as like a time crunch. Other than that, it's true to the anime, and I like it.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I liked it. I had fun with it, man. That was a good, fun show.
They did the normal Netflix stuff too. Like they did some race swaps here and there, but
yeah.
But yeah, like the one with Nami's sister, right? Yeah, that kind of did throw me a little bit. But the other ones I can kind of see.
Yeah,
the race swaps.
Yeah, there's a few of them like a little more jarring. Other ones like it's no big deal. Like when you like Nami's sister is like, wait a minute, that's not what she looks like.
I mean, I think she was like a little. I think what they do is any character in One Piece that's a little shade, like that's a 2 shades darker, right? They just make them black. Yeah, they 2 shades darker. All right, we're just gonna make them black. Period. I think Nami's sister was a little. If I can remember right, was she like a shade darker than Nami? Because they're not actually real sisters,
right?
They were adopted. So it was like, was she? I can't remember because she did have like dark hair and shit. Then I can't remember, but I think she was just like a shade darker than Nami. So I guess they was like, we're just gonna make her black.
Well, I will just say I did not mind that Nami's sister looked different than her because that chick was hot.
Yeah, and those lips.
Oh yeah,
but. And I guess she's Australian. I don't know. That was the accent I got out of her. But
you think you grew up to know your accent to be similar?
Yeah. All right. So I give it 2 thumbs up. I think it was a good show. Go watch it. Now I am curious about one thing. Did either one of y'all watch? Because I never did. Did either one of y'all watch the Netflix Cowboy Bebop?
No.
Because
I did.
I was going to watch it, but then I heard nothing but horrible reviews.
Yep, I read.
Didn't that actress
I watched
that
all
played
the
Faye like just her like little social media thing, just shitting on the fans and everything?
Yeah, yep, shitting on the fans,
and shitting on the original anime. So, I'm good. You just killed the show for everybody.
Yeah, so I never. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to watch it, and then by the time I got around to like getting some time to sit down and binge watch it on the weekend or something, I had just heard nothing but horrible reviews on it, and so which sucked because I like John Cho. And so I never watched it, So I was just like, okay. So I've never checked it out. And I think that's what everybody thought this was going to be, was more of that. Like, it was just going to be bad. It was just going to be a bad interpretation.
Oh, that's what I thought right out from the get-go. But then I saw, like, the creators thing. It's like we were wanting to stay more we learned from Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
And we want to stay more true to the source material.
Right. And plus, Oda was right. And, like, everything had to go through Oda first before they could put it in the...
And he was adamant, too, like, Netflix would have put some kind of romance in between like some of the crew, but he said no, absolutely no.
Right. Although I did at one point, I thought Robin and Zoro had a thing, but it never got anywhere. And of course, like Sanji, he's just all over the place.
Yeah, so they didn't really pull with this show too. They didn't really pull that off with Sanji's like basically loves every woman he sees.
Right, but he did try to hit on the sister.
Oh yeah, but
now I got a question, and you can totally spoil this for me. I don't give a shit. With Zoro's backstory, like I was watching that going, oh, that chick's totally still alive, and she's going to show up at some point. Whoever that chick is that he has her sword that he grew up with.
From now, she's still dead.
Yeah,
but she's totally coming back, right?
No, she dead.
I don't see it.
Really? They
Nope.
made way too big of a deal about her being a part of his life, and then they never actually showed her die. Never actually said how she died.
It was very condensed, and they kind of skipped over all that part.
Okay.
In the anime and the manga, they actually show what happens and stuff.
Okay, because the way it would played out in Netflix, I'm like, oh, she's totally coming back. Like, she's not dead. Because that master of theirs was like a little too vague when he was telling her, oh, she's gone. And then you just see him at like her grave, and then he takes her sword. And I was like,
surprising they didn't want to show that kind of stuff. Guess where they're children, but Zoro cuts a dude in half and kills him at the beginning.
Okay.
So
Mr. Seven.
Why would you be shut? They were like cussing and killing people. Then it kind of got the violence kind of got tamed down though. When it passed that episode, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like pretty damn hardcore when Zoro cuts that dude in half right at the beginning.
But I think that was like a little joke on how Zoro is like actually racist because the first person he kills is a black person, and like in the anime, most of the people he fight first, right, is all the dark skinned characters.
I haven't heard that.
So they call him Zoro the Minority Hunter. And one was
damn, that's a hell of a nickname.
Make the Grand Line great again. That's what they call him too.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, you have to look it up on YouTube. Like, no, they go through all the characters that Zoro faced, and like the new one where he faced off with King, in like the last 2 seasons with King. Like Zoro kept getting his ass whooped through the whole arc. Then once King's helmet came off and Zoro saw that he was black, and that's when he started to kick his ass. That was also funny.
Well, he did fight the draft guy, and he was white.
Who?
During when they go get Robin, the member of CP5 that's gets the draft devil fruit.
Oh yeah.
He's a white guy.
Oh yeah.
So he hates black people and animals. I don't know.
That's what I'm gathering from the conversation.
Let me get the super chat here real quick. Dom says, sup y'all, new buys in Discord. So yeah, Dom was telling us about this last night. He picked up some G.I. Joe stuff yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, and I saw that he made an excuse why he couldn't join the chat because he's
no, handsy. Work.
Yeah, work off. Ugh.
I forget what this thing is called. That's not the Stingray, is it? No. What is that thing called?
It's fucking cool.
Nice. Very nice. I love you, Joe.
Good pickup, man.
But yeah, I give I give One Piece 2 thumbs up. I just fucked that sentence all the hell. I give 2 Piece 1 thumb down. I don't know.
Now, you know what? Now just watch the first season of the anime. So what you do is, just to get, it's a lot of seasons, but what you do is you just skip all, because basically it's like 15 minutes long. Because, first they do like the introduction, what happened for the last episodes, and just skip that and skip all like the memory flashbacks and just watch the present day stuff.
The anime does drive you crazy. Every episode has a previously recaps the last episode. It's like,
I was watching
skip through the flashbacks. It should be a breeze to get through.
We were looking through it because Netflix just added a whole bunch of One Piece shit. It says there's like 15 seasons and there's like 9 movies that they just added.
Yeah. Well, the movies are standalone and they don't involve the story, so like you can skip those if you want to.
But like, do they like if you're going to watch the movies? Do you have to watch them at certain points in the show? Like, stop the show and go watch a movie and then get back to the show?
No, they're all standalones, I think.
Okay, so they don't take place at like specific times where they might spoil something in the show if you watch just the movies first.
Maybe because I've never watched the movies because they said like all the movies are just standalone, so like it has nothing to do with
like little one-off
overall
adventures
story
or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was looking through the stuff and I was looking at One Piece and it said 15 seasons, but I was looking at season 1, 68 episodes. Season 2, 15 episodes. I was like, what the shit? Like, how the hell is it so drastically different from season to season?
Yeah, I think like the earlier seasons it's kind of like that. I've been watching them on like Crunchyroll, and like some of the seasons might be shorter than others, but after that it really gets along. But
you know what it reminded me of? That first season was like a season back in the day when we were kids on a show where it was set to play like every day after school. So like, remember back in the 80s, a season of television for cartoons would have like 50, 60 episodes for one season.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of.
Well, here's like a sample like how condensed it was. When Zoro fights Mihawk, it's episode 24 in the first season.
Oh, shit.
Right. But you should be able to get through it pretty quickly if you just skip, like the intros and like all the flashbacks. Yeah, you should be able to get through it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now it's time to talk about Ahsoka. Jared, did you watch Ahsoka?
I did not.
You did not.
You said you were going to watch it last night.
50 episodes.
You what? Wait, you what?
I was looking. I'm sitting here on Internet Movie Database, and I was looking through the seasons of One Piece. Season 1 is at the end. 70, 72, 73. Crap! How many episodes are in season 1?
It's a lot. That's all I know. I looked on Netflix. It was a lot.
How long are each episode?
They're like 30 minutes, but really they're like 10 minutes.
Oh, they're more than 10 minutes.
No,
that's a little over.
Really. No.
How long would it take you to fly through it all?
No, I'm telling you, if you like get through all the introductions and what happened last season, and you skip the flashbacks like I do, it's like 10 minutes. Now, if you include the flashbacks, then it's like 15 minutes.
How long would it take for you to binge watch it all? Just curious.
To get to 1,000 episodes, it took me like 2 months and a half.
I have not watched the entire series because it's too much.
Oh, I don't care to watch it. I was just curious.
You sit there watch till you get burned out on it, and then you stop and come back to it.
Yeah, that's what I did. I watched, I got burnt out. Then I watched again. And now I'm up to 1,000.
Wow. All right, let's talk Ahsoka here real quick. So, first and foremost, I really like this show. I've said it.
Me too.
For the last couple weeks we've been watching. It's just a continuation of Star Wars Rebels. That's all it is. So if you like Star Wars Rebels, you'll like this show. Because that's all this is. That's all it is. This actually picks up. I mean, basically the way this show, the way I kind of look at it is, remember the very last scene in Star Wars Rebels when it's supposed to be years later and Ahsoka shows up on Lothal and you see, Sabine walk in and she's like, okay, I'm ready. They basically redo that scene in was it episode 2? I think it's episode 2.
Yeah.
1 or 2 of Ahsoka. So it's basically there. So this is just a continuation of that story. I'm loving it. I'm digging it. New episode's good. It's I mean, it's a big fight episode because it's Ahsoka and Sabine fighting the three Sith, basically. So we did find out who Marok is. Big disappointment. He's nobody. He's nobody. He's a nobody. Which I guess would not have been a disappointment except for the fact that like they really built him up in that one episode. Like they made it seem like there was some big mystery behind him. And then nothing. He's just a nobody. You know, nothing to see here, folks. Move along. This isn't the story. Go on about your business. So yeah, it's an episode that's primarily just a bunch of fight scenes, which was good. It was all good fight scenes. It's I forget what's that blonde Sith chick's name? I can't remember her name. I can't remember either of the Sith names off the top of my head.
I can't either.
It's a lot of her fighting Ahsoka and Sabine for a while, and then Ahsoka goes off to fight Marok, and then Sabine starts fighting the Sith girl. And then Ahsoka goes off to fight Ray Stevenson's character, and then a whole big thing. And then all this stuff happens, and a bunch of shit goes down, and Hera is coming in, and we finally get to see the ghost in action. And then the episode ends in a very big way with Jared, do you mind if I talk about it?
Go ahead. I don't care.
With essentially Ahsoka is dead, and she's in that other place where Ezra goes whenever he can travel through the Force to different points in time. I forget what the name of that place is. Does anybody remember?
I don't either. I was trying to think of it when they showed it, and I could not think of it.
Yeah, she's dead. She dies and shows up there. And,
well, she maybe dies.
Well, she's dead enough to end up there. Thank you, Quinn. World Between Worlds. The World Between Worlds. I could not remember the name of that place. So she ends up in the World Between Worlds right at the end of the episode. And
is that
sure,
a right or left at Albuquerque?
I think it's a left.
Always a left at Albuquerque.
And right at the end, you just hear this voice go, Ahsoka. And then I didn't expect to see you here so soon. And of course, she turns around, and who is it? It's fucking Anakin. And that's how the show ends. And it's legit him. You know, it's Hayden Christensen as done up as Anakin. Straight out of like Revenge of the Sith, that era of Anakin. And that's when the show ends. And the rumors had already come out that he was going to be in episode 5, 7, and 8. So he's going to be all throughout this next episode, and then he's going to be in 7 and 8. And then next episode also is getting a theatrical release. So they obviously think this next episode with her and Anakin in the World Between Worlds is going to be important because they're releasing it at the movie theaters. And that's what my guess is that's what that whole episode is going to be. The whole episode's probably just going to be them in the World Between Worlds. Doing what? I don't know. But I'm guessing that's going to be a very Ahsoka, Anakin heavy episode. There are rumors. This may just be wishful thinking. There are rumors that Ahsoka, at least temporarily, will find a way to pull Anakin out of there, much the way Ezra pulled her out. I don't know if that's true. That seems a little far-fetched to me. I feel like I'd be down with that, but I also feel like it wouldn't. Like, how do you explain that? Like, all of a sudden, young Anakin shows up, and he's roughly the same age as Luke is, you know what I mean? And introduce him back into that world. I feel like that's weird. I mean, I know we've seen it done before, because, I mean, Ezra did it to Ahsoka. He pulled her out of time and saved her life. That's the only reason she's alive. But I don't know. I think that's more just wishful thinking than that's actually going to happen. So I'm not counting on that. But there have been some rumors swirling about that. I just think that'd be too much. You know what I mean? Like, how do you reintroduce Anakin into the Star Wars universe now at that point in time? It would just be weird.
It would.
It'd be
It
weird.
very much would be.
And I also think it would hurt his story being, bringing balance to the Force, because he did. He brought balance to the Force. Maybe not the way people wanted him to. Yeah, he killed a bunch of younglings to do it, but like he did, he technically brought balance to the Force. He did what he was prophesized to do. So no, I'm definitely looking forward to a Anakin heavy episode. I like Anakin. Anakin's a great character. I was not a huge fan of the character in Phantom Menace because that kid sucked. And then I hate the dialogue from Attack of the Clones, although
I don't know why they just didn't have Hayden Christensen to play in the Phantom Menace, because it made no sense. The dialogue and everything, like the story in Phantom Menace, made no sense. We were talking about he's too old to teach. He was like, that kid looks like a toddler.
Yeah.
How's he too old to teach?
Yeah, he was like 9 or 10 at best, but yeah, I mean, and I think the dialogue in Attack of the Clones is absolutely horrific.
Sand. I hate sand.
Yeah, but I don't think that's Hayden Christensen's fault. That's because George Lucas decided to write dialogue.
Dale Gribble could take out Anakin like sand.
George Lucas should never be allowed to write dialogue ever. I'm sorry, you can't do that. That's not your forte.
Like
Go create bigger stories and figure out ways to do special effects. That's what you're good at.
I agree, because he always made it fucking weird, didn't he? All the dialogue that he wrote, like
it's fucking weird, man. Weird. It made Anakin come off like a fucking stalker, like a weird, creepy stalker in that movie.
Fact.
Now it was much better in Revenge of the Sith. The dialogue was much better, and Anakin was a much better character in that movie than he had been in the previous movie. But I like Anakin. Anakin is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, especially after watching watching Clone Wars. The portrayal of Anakin is great, wonderfully done. So I like Anakin. I'm looking forward to Anakin in Ahsoka, even if it's just Ghost Anakin in the world between worlds or whatever, But
I think they should have got someone else to play Ahsoka than Rosario Dawson.
Why? Because you're not old enough?
Well, it's not just that. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of hers. Never really have been.
I think it'd be really good to have somebody with, that could do more physical stuff, like more action scenes.
Yeah.
I've seen people complain about that. It's like with Ahsoka, it's like she looks awkward when she tries to do action stuff. I'm like, well,
yeah, she's hired a gymnast to do it all.
Yeah, I just don't think she's that good of an actor.
I think she portrays the Star Wars rebel matured version of Ahsoka very well. Now, I'm not talking about the action scenes. I'm just talking about her overall demeanor and attitude and tone of voice and how she carries herself is almost identical to the way Ahsoka was portrayed in Star Wars Rebels, which is very different than she was portrayed in Clone Wars.
Vastly different. I actually hated her during the movie and like that first season. A
lot of people hated Ahsoka in that first season. Like I think
they designed her to be hated that first season.
Yeah.
They wanted you not to like her, then have her grow as a character.
Right. Great character development, for her arc in Clone Wars.
But I mean, like I said, I'm not. The fight scenes and stuff. Whatever. I mean, but as far as how she acts as Ahsoka, like she pulls off the Ahsoka that I remember from Rebels.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's right.
I've seen people making fun of like way Rosario Dawson runs. That she can't run. She runs on the level of like probably Ezra Miller.
Oh God. Yeah.
Is she better than Steven Seagal?
I think for me she does a good job as Ahsoka, pulling off that version of the character, the older version.
I think they should have, like, with the much makeup they have on her, they could have easily got in action shots. They could have just had a stand-in.
Yeah.
And where they got technology now too, they can deep fake people's faces on different bodies.
Oh yeah, 100%. The one I'm not the only one that bothers me as far as casting goes is still Sabine, and it's not like that chick is doing a bad job or anything. I still maintain that the chick that actually did the voice in Rebels would have been a better choice. I think she would have been a better choice for the character.
Yeah.
So
the only other issue, it goes all the way back to Mandalorian though with Ahsoka. Her tendrils are too small.
Yeah, because they're supposed to get bigger as she gets older.
Yep.
And they were longer in Rebels than they are now.
Yeah. For species, they're supposed to get bigger the older they.
Yeah. So, but overall, I mean, I think she does. I think they've done a good job at portraying Ahsoka.
But you can understand them. In the real world, you can understand why they don't make them bigger, because it's practical. It'd be.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because they're doing all practical effects on her makeup, which I think was a good call. I mean, because we've all seen before when they've tried to, like, and sometimes it works, and a lot of times it doesn't. When you try to, especially if you're not spending a lot of money, you're spending television show money instead of like Marvel movie money. When you try to CGI parts of a character, like, it doesn't always turn out real well. So I think the practical makeup, the practical effects on Ahsoka make way more sense. It looks good. They're not as big as they should be. Her tendrils should be longer and higher, but I'm like, okay, it works. I do, you know, it's still Ahsoka, whatever. I don't know. Maybe she got a haircut. I don't know, but I feel like that would hurt, but you never know. But the episode was really good.
I think
it was good fight scenes. I liked the end. Ending was great. I love the world between worlds, because this is something we've been talking about for a long time in Star Wars geekdom is, man, I wish they would bring back the world between worlds, because if they could, there's so much they could do. And just the fact that you bring it back at least gives hope to some of us nerds that, like, you can change the past and you can change the future, and there's a chance you can make the sequel series disappear. Like, that's a different timeline now, and we don't ever have to talk about it again.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yes.
Does Ezra Miller run better? I haven't seen it yet. Does he run better or worse than Steven Seagal?
Worse.
Really?
Yeah. Ezra Miller. You've seen, what are you talking about? You've seen The Flash.
Oh. I thought we were talking about, never mind. Okay.
Well, there is Ezra's in both things we're discussing.
Right.
That's true. But yes, we're talking about how shitty Ezra Miller runs.
Yeah, dude. Now that you mention it, and now that I know what you're talking about it, yeah, he does kind of run worse than Steven Seagal in a weird way.
Yeah, it's weird. And if he's running worse than Steven Seagal, that's saying something. So, but yeah, I'm digging it, man. I'm liking it. We got let's see, we're halfway through, right? At this point,
I think so.
So we got we're 4 episodes in. We got 4 more episodes.
I just got here, but what was better than Ezra?
Nothing.
Wasn't that like an 80s band, like Better Than Ezra?
No, that was a 2000s band. Better Than Ezra was.
Oh yeah. Old band, got it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how the 2000s are as old as the 80s to me now, almost in a way.
The 2000s are half your life ago.
Yeah, and the 80s were the rest.
Yep, pretty much. That's the way it works. Good times.
Gee, thanks.
And that was only like a quarter of your life ago, right, Tim?
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, I like Ahsoka. I'm digging it, man. It's a lot of fun. I think it's good. I love Star Wars Rebels. This is a sequel to Star Wars Rebels. I'm digging what they're doing. So I got nothing but good things to say. However, we do have to talk about a couple things that I have very, very, very bad things to say about. And I don't mean to cut it off. Anybody else wants to say anything about Ahsoka, do so now or forever hold your peace, because we're going to move on to something else.
I have not seen that show yet.
All right, tell me how you really feel about me.
All right. So first of all, okay, we'll start with the less offensive of the two. So you know that new movie Strays? Has anybody heard about this?
I watched about 5 minutes and I quit watching. It was horrible.
Yeah, it's Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx playing stray dogs, and it was billed as like this incredibly funny comedy, whatever. It sucks. Like I got about 40. I made it to about the 40-minute mark, and I was just like, "This is fucking awful." There's nothing funny about it. It's just one of those movies that's like offensive for the point. To just to be offensive,
mean and annoying.
Yeah, just to be like, it's just a lot of dog penis jokes for some reason, like a whole lot of dog penis jokes, and
you got me so far.
Dogs humping things jokes, and it's just, but none of it's actually funny. You know what I mean? So I stuck into that movie way too long, much longer than I should have, because I knew it wasn't funny 10 minutes into it. But I kept watching, and I kept
4 minutes into it, I was like, "I'm done." There's no way I'm fucking watching
and I should have done the same thing. I stuck around to see if it would get better. It does not. So do not watch this movie. It's fucking horrible. You should stay away from it at all costs. Okay, so that's the less offensive of the two movies I'm going to talk about here. The other movie that I watched, which is a steaming, huge pile of dog shit. Now, of course, I would assume most people in this audience would have guessed this already. You don't need me to tell you this. But I watched the entire movie because I wanted to have a good round knowledge of this movie, have given it a chance from beginning to end, watch the whole thing, see if there's anything redeemable in it. And there's not. And that, of course, is the Barbie movie. This movie is a giant piece of shit. And I'm not even talking about what your political opinions are of this movie. Like, it's very, very feminist, preachy, all that shit, right? I'm not even talking about that. That is off the table. This movie sucks. Like, even if you are completely into the feminist theory, ideology, and all that stuff that this movie is based on, there is still nothing good about this movie. It is not a good movie. The storyline, the dialogue, the cinematography isn't even done well. The special effects aren't done well.
Is it for
there
kids?
Is nothing
or is it
even
for
technically, not even on the technical aspect of filmmaking, is this movie done well. Shots all over the place. There's no consistency in it. It is a bad movie. And again, I'm not even talking about all the political stuff that's going on with this movie that people are divided on. And some people love it because it's feminist, and some people hate it because it's woke feminist and all this other stuff. I'm not even talking about that. The movie is not good in any way. The story makes no fucking sense on any level whatsoever. And part of that is because they're trying to push an ideology into this movie, but it doesn't work within the story they've created for the movie. Like, it doesn't make sense.
So let's say that a guy was like never gonna watch this show. Like let's say an entire audience, let's say, was like never gonna watch this movie ever. No matter, even if you said it was good, probably they wouldn't watch it.
They would probably still not watch it. Yeah.
So assuming that, and assuming that, like for the benefit of being able to talk about the movie, what is the storyline? Like, what is the plot of the movie? What is it about besides Barbie and Ken?
Okay, so
she wakes up.
The movie takes place in a world where the people in the real world, or at least some people in the real world, know that Barbie Land is a real place. It's never discussed how it's a real place or where this real place is, but there is a Barbie Land that really exists where there are real people who have no genitalia. And yes, this is in the movie. They have no genitalia, and it is actively discussed. They live there and can somehow, nobody knows how because it's never talked about, can travel back and forth. The travel there is very inconsistent as far as how long it takes to get there. There's no explanation. I guess it's just magic.
Accidental.
I guess. But yet, people in the real world do know that Barbie Land is real, and there have been other people who have come from Barbie Land to the real world before. In the movie, it is said that everybody in NSYNC came from Barbie Land.
That's kind of funny. That's actually they're just a bunch of Ken dolls.
No, they're Alan dolls.
Oh.
Which I did not know who the fuck Alan was. Apparently, it's described in the movie. Alan is Ken's best friend, that at some point they released an Alan doll in the Barbie line. I don't know, because I don't give a shit about Barbies and never have. So I didn't know who the hell Alan was. But apparently, everybody from NSYNC is an Alan. There are a bunch of Alan dolls that came to the real world and started a singing group. Anyway, yeah, so there's this, that's the overall world they live in, and apparently you can travel from Barbie World directly to Venice Beach, California, somehow. And vice versa. You can actually travel to Venice Beach, California, somehow. All you have to do is, if you're in Venice Beach, California, is put on rollerblades, and you will end up in Barbie Land. Now, this doesn't make any sense because Venice Beach, California is full of people who fucking rollerblade and have for 30 fucking years, and nobody's ever accidentally ended up in Barbie Land. But apparently, that's how it works.
I almost ended up in Barbie Land like a month ago. Then.
If you transport to Barbie Land, do you lose your junk?
No, apparently not.
It'd be funny if
really go into detail.
It'd be funny if Ken's best friend name was Ryu.
That would have been more funny and a better story if the Barbie movie morphed into a Street Fighter movie.
Just like one little aspect of it, you know?
Yeah. But somehow the story is this particular Barbie, who's like the main Barbie. They keep calling her
everybody in Barbie Land is named
traditional Barbie or something like that. I can't remember what they call her, but she's like supposed to be the representation of like the stereotypical Barbie. But then they also refer to her. They also refer to her in the movie as the not stereotypical Barbie, which makes no fucking sense. To the point that even at one point in the movie, there is just out of nowhere a voiceover in the movie when she's talking to another character about how she's not the stereotypical Barbie, and so nobody understands how she feels. And this voiceover pops up in the middle of the movie that says, "Note to the movie makers, Margot Robbie was not the right person to cast in this role if you wanted to make this point." Yeah, no shit. So they just completely like voiced over an entire plot hole in the fucking movie because they obviously realized while making the movie that it makes no fucking sense. So anyway, she's there and she starts thinking about death and dying and all these things. And then she gets told by other Barbies she has to go to the real world to find her human. Because obviously, if she's thinking about those things, then her human is in distress. So she has to go find her human and help her. It basically lays out the plot that every Barbie in Barbie Land represents a real doll in the real world. Except for the fact that in Barbie Land, that's not true because there's only one version of each Barbie in Barbie Land. They also say that. So they say there's a Barbie for every Barbie doll for every little girl out there. Also, there's only one version of every Barbie in Barbie Land. Both things are true somehow in the movie at the same fucking time, which makes no goddamn sense.
Well, there might be multiple Barbie universes.
There would be billions of Barbies.
Exactly.
In Barbie Land.
I'm just really glad that
but there's not.
I'm really glad that the part of this that's over is the women going out to see Barbie and then going out for drinks either before or after, and then they look nothing like Barbie, and then I say something about how the Barbie chicks don't look like Barbie and laugh to myself about it, and then get in trouble at work because of the feminists.
Oh, trust me.
How many Barbie drinks are there?
Trust me. I guarantee you they all look like one of the Barbies in that movie.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably
there's a lot of Barbies be represented. Every kind of Barbie you can fucking imagine is in that movie. Margot Robbie just happens to be the stereotypical Barbie, who's not the stereotypical Barbie, which still fucking doesn't make any sense. Just like the fact that there is a Barbie for every girl, but also
I wonder if it's still the script or the fat comedian one was when Amy Schumer.
This movie makes no fucking sense. And then somehow Ken goes with her to the real world, and she goes, and they're trying to find her little girl, and Ken goes to the real world, and somehow he gets it in his head that the real world is the patriarchy. Yet there's an entire host of scenes in the movie, one right after the other, where when he first thinks the world is run by men, he then goes and tries to do a bunch of things that he thinks he should just be able to do just because he's a man. But he can't do any of them, and he keeps getting told, no, you can't do that. You know, you can't. He walks into a hospital and says, I want to do an appendectomy. Oh, okay, what are your qualifications? Well, I'm a man. Sorry, that's not how that works. Oh, I want to be a vice president. Okay, do you have a PhD or an MBA? No. Oh, well, what's your qualifications? I'm a man. Sorry, that's not how it works. So they lay the story of he goes thinking, oh, the world is run by men and it's a patriarchy, which of course is the exact opposite of Barbie Land, where he's treated like a piece of shit. Like literally, that's his whole story is all the Kens are treated like dog shit in Barbie Land. Right? They're secondary throwaway characters that none of the Barbies actually give a fuck about. And he goes to the real world and instantly becomes the exact opposite, where he thinks in the real world, all the men run everything. But yet in the fucking movie, he gets told, no, that's not how the real world works. Just because you're a man doesn't mean you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like he literally gets told that multiple fucking times. And then still goes back to Barbie Land thinking, oh, men just run everything in the real world. No, that's literally the opposite of what the movie just fucking told you.
It'd be really funny.
Barbie Land and turns it into a patriarchy. So when Barbie finally comes back with a couple of humans in tow, she comes back to literally in the 2 hours between when Ken went back to Barbie Land and when she went back to Barbie Land. Barbie Land has completely changed, and they're like rewriting the Constitution, and there's a new male president instead of female President Barbie, and the whole place has changed, and all the Kens have taken over all of Barbie Land in 2 hours. Then, at the same time, literally about 5 minutes, not even, about 2 minutes behind Barbie and the humans going back to Barbie Land was the corporate guys that work at Mattel trying to catch her. And they know exactly how to get to Barbie Land. They know to just put on some rollerblades and go back to Barbie Land. They're literally on Venice Beach, 2 minutes behind her, going into Barbie Land right behind her. Yet, in the movie, she's in Barbie Land for days and days and days and days, long enough to completely fix everything in Barbie Land before they show up in Barbie Land, even though they were 2 minutes behind her. I'm telling you, this movie doesn't make any fucking sense in any way, shape, or form.
Come on.
And that's on top of the woke fucking feminist bullshit in the movie.
Yeah,
on a funner note, not Barbie, I did recently find out that Ezra's lightsaber, where he has the blaster in the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
They ripped it off. There's a 80s cartoon called Ulysses 31.
Yeah,
The main
I remember
character
Ulysses 31. Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so it'd be really cool. Oh, sorry.
Ulysses 31 stole it from fucking Star Wars.
But he has the
they put a gun on it to try and make it different from a fucking lightsaber. So Star Wars just took it back.
So it's like Inception. Like another thing stole it from Star Wars, then they took it, and Star Wars stole it back from them.
Yeah.
So the way better storyline for Barbie would have been like Barbie Land is run by women, right? And then like everything's like perfect there because it's run by women or whatever, and their storyline or whatever, right? Because it's a feminist movie. And then they come to the real world, and Ken's like, "Oh, well, I'm a man here, so I should be in charge." And then they're like, "Nope, you can't do that here. It's just like Barbie Land. Nope, you can't do that there. It's just like Barbie Land. Nope." And then it turns out, hey, we don't live in a misogynist society, and all the blue-haired fucks can shut the fuck up. And that's the point of the movie that they get to. That'd be great.
And what's funny is that is in the movie. That is in the fucking movie. But like they just ignore it. Like they put the scenes in the movie to tell that story, but then ignore it. Like it's a weird movie that it's not even consistent with its own narrative or writing or storytelling. And this is why I say it is a bad movie. It's a bad movie. You know what I mean? So
maybe it's too artistic for you. Maybe
yeah, it's just not good. So yeah. I don't know what to say about it, but
can we keep talking about it so that DC and Donnie, you're pissed?
I just really, really wanted to express how bad this fucking movie is because it's really bad. Because I gave it a chance. I watched the whole thing. Even though I tried watching it a few weeks ago and I couldn't get through 30 minutes of the movie, I was like, you know what? No. Mostly, by the way, because of Jolly's little ass. Where the fuck is he? Because he's the one that came in and said he saw the whole movie, and he's like, no, it gets really better once they go back to Barbie Land. No, it fucking doesn't. He lied. Little Jolly lied.
My oldest son saw it on a date with his girlfriend, and he said it was good. Should we bring him in here and have him explain himself?
Yes. He needs to justify that bullshit.
All right, I'll see if I can get him. Hold on one sec.
I bet he said that just because he was with his girl. There is no way that movie was good.
I just think it's funny how you're getting so worked up over a Barbie movie. It's funny.
You know why I'm worked up? Because I had to fucking watch it for this show. And I felt forced to watch it so I could do a good review of this movie. And I gave it a chance. Man. I really, really did. I did not want to watch this movie. I did not want to see this, and I sat there and I paid it. Even when my wife walked away from the movie, she went and started doing shit. And I asked her, I was like, do you want me to pause the movie? She's like, no, you don't have to. She walked away, missed the whole last 45 minutes of the movie.
What's funny is, you know where I work at, it's a liberal, I'm surrounded by liberals. And they have like this where most people work remotely now. They have a weekly like chit chat meeting, and one of the dudes, like, he is like drink the Kool-Aid type propaganda.
I feel your pain.
He was going like on a tirade, he makes up these bullshit stories too. Like like this guy was shit talking Barbie to his girlfriend, and he's like gave him like big speech, like things that didn't happen for $100, but. He went on this big whole speech of how it's misogynist, making up stuff with male egos. Just lying about Barbie movie, things like that. And it's like he had a prepared speech talking about how good Barbie was. And it's like, no, it wasn't. I had to like interject. It's like, dude, maybe some people just don't like the movie and have different taste.
I mean, and here's the thing. I went into this new movie knowing it was going to be, feminism obscene, right? Like I knew that going into the movie. So I was prepared to just watch it as a movie, knowing that politically I disagree with it, but just, watch it as a movie and just take it for what it is. Okay, I'm not going to agree with the politics of this movie, but let's see if at least it's a decent movie. No, No, the movie itself doesn't even maintain its own narrative. You know, it's a horrible slap together movie that, yeah, I you know, I don't know. I can't. I do not understand why. Like, I get if you like the feminism stuff in it or whatever. Like, okay, sure, why not? But like, if that's your politics, then cool, you like that part of it. But you can't say it's a good movie because it's not a good movie. The narrative of the storytelling makes no goddamn sense in any way, shape, or form. They don't even maintain a static timeline for how you get back and forth to Barbie Land or what. It just doesn't make sense at all.
So I watched it because of the part where Mattel and everything, and I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be all weird and play around with dimensions or time or something, right? But like you say, it got silly and weird. So I quit watching it. My question is it for... So I quit right when they got back to Barbie Land and it started getting weird, and I was like, I'm done. So I don't know what happened after that. But was it made for kids, or was it supposed to be made for adults? Like, is this like Scooby-Doo, or is this like...
No, this is definitely made for adults. It's definitely made for adults. It is not made for kids.
So no weird tie-ins that we're trying to...
I haven't seen the movie, but here's a theory that you got where there's only one Barbie... there's only one Barbie in Barbie Land for each type of Barbie.
Yeah.
Even though there's billions of Barbies. In the ocean, there is millions of Barbie corpses that match the same ones.
Maybe. But that was just one. And again, that was just one of the weird things in the movie. It's like, oh, there's a Barbie in Barbie Land for every little girl. But yet there's only one Barbie representing each version of Barbie.
Well, that's like Santa Claus and shit. That's just like...
I mean, maybe, but then if that was true, why is she only affected by the one person?
No, I know, but I'm just
everybody
saying, like,
tells her, "Oh, you've got to go see your little girl." You know,
I get it. It's like an elf or some movie where they come up and say every kid's got an elf. Like, it wouldn't make sense, but it is the storyline of the movie. I get it, but it's not
like Toy Story. Like, oh, you got to save your Josh's little toy doll thing or whatever.
But even in Toy Story, it's like, no.
That makes sense, but it's in the kid's room, and it is there.
Yeah, that one made more sense.
That would make more sense because it's like, oh no, there's dozens of fucking Woodies out there, and or
well, if
whatever it is, right?
And they have some kind of weird shared dream. The dolls have some kind of weird shared dream or something, and maybe that's it.
I don't know because they don't explain it.
No, it's not reality. That's like, I mean, it's just some weird.
And it would make more sense if, okay, let me see if I can make sense of this sentence. It would make more sense if it made less sense. And what I mean by that, had they not spent so much time trying to explain things that then didn't make sense with what you were watching on screen, it would have made more sense. In other words, if they had just let everything just go without an explanation and you're just left to assume this is just a magical realm of Barbies, whatever, and we're not even going to try to explain anything in this movie, then that would have made more sense because you go into the movie knowing you're not going to get a clear explanation on anything. But then they would try to explain certain aspects of the movie that did not vibe at all with the movie that was being told, that was you're watching, and you're just, it's like it felt like and this is exactly what it was. I think it was somebody trying to tell a feminist story, but they didn't know how to make a movie, and they got the license to make a fucking Barbie movie, and so they tried to put together as good of a movie as they could to tell their feminist story via the Barbie name, but they don't actually know how to tell a good narrative story that makes sense.
Do you know what I bet happened? They hired a bunch of women, right? And then like everyone had their own idea of how the movie should go, and everyone argued to get their thing in. And so it's like a case of too many chefs ruin the soup kind of thing, right?
Yeah, movie by committee.
Right, but specifically because they're all like strong feminist women who are always right and have never been like slapped in the face or punched in the gut, right? And they get in a board meeting, like they're all gonna win. So if everybody wins, then nothing makes sense, you know?
Well, it is the most successful movie in this year, mainly because
it's made
the
a
name
fuck
recognition.
ton of money too. Yeah,
really, it's the name recognition. I don't think when they do, they're already greenlighting the second movie, so I don't think it's going to do as well because they're going to realize this is not a kids movie. This is not a fun movie. There's billions of Barbie fans.
Yeah.
Moral of the story is don't hire women folk to be your writers.
I'll say millions of Barbie fans. But,
yeah, I don't know.
Electric Blue.
It could have like legitimately there was a way you could have made an actual like good point about society and about women and men in society, and there were notes of that in this movie. Because what's funny is in the end, like there was supposed to be like you see that at the very end, and it's kind of a throwaway ending because they don't focus on it that much. But in the end, they try to be like, oh, okay, now we realize that, yeah, we not only does the patriarchy suck, but yeah, we were kind of a matriarchy and treated all our Kens like shit. So we don't want to do that anymore, right? And there was a story to be told there that you could have said, and because it was in there, like that, yeah, you know, living in an all male or all female dominated society would suck for the other side, right? There was a story, a valid story that could have been told that everybody would have, you know, had a connection to, whether you're a guy or a girl or whatever, right? Seeing that both sides of that way of life would suck if just one, you know, gender dominated everything. Like they could have told that story and it would have been a much better movie, right? And the thing is that that story was in there. Like when Ken was trying to fucking do all the things he wanted to do and kept getting told no, it was very obvious that no, the real world is not a patriarchy, right? Like there are requirements that you, and like half the people that were telling him no were like doctors and scientists that were women telling him no. He can't just do those things just because he's a man, right? Whereas Barbie Land, they literally are all doing the things they're doing just because they're women, just because they're Barbies. They're all the doctors and the presidents and the politicians and the people that everybody loved for no other reason than because they're women. Like Barbie Land is legitimately the more unfair place. And they even show that in the movie. So anyway, weird shit, man. Weird shit. Not a good movie.
You know, we did have examples of male-dominated societies for basically all of human history, right?
Yeah.
And some of them were really bad for women. Granted, there were some societies, you know, along the way here and there by whatever ideology or whatever that are like really bad if you're a woman in that society. But there's others that were like male-dominated where women were specifically upheld on a pedestal and protected at all costs and like lived a much easier life their entire time, right? So like you can't say that just because something is male dominated or a patriarchy that necessarily therefore it's going to be bad for the other side. Like it could be if the people in charge, if those in charge are being, I don't know what the word is, tyrants, you know, then yeah, absolutely. And if the women are in charge of being tyrants, like it seems like if like Hillary Clinton, well, I guess we can't talk about that stuff here, but you know what I mean? Like if women are in charge and they're tyrants, it could suck for us for sure, you know? So like, I think the moral of the story is don't be a dick.
Yes. Then that should have been the moral of the story.
You could say something like, if the Red Witch would have won the victory, you could say that here, and that would work.
Yeah. The red evil witch from Satan's burrow.
All right, let's move on to something else. I want to talk about another movie I watched that I actually enjoyed, that I thought was actually a pretty good movie. And we talked about it briefly on the chat last night. Me and Jared did. I watched that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie. That new animated one that came out this summer.
Just getting now around to watching that one?
Well, yeah, I wanted to watch it in HD. I didn't want to watch it in the shitty version. So I just watched that this week, and it was pretty good. Like, I liked it. Like, I have, between the comic books and the original cartoon series, and then the live action movies and the multiple other, pieces of TMNT, other versions of TMNT that I have consumed in my life. And they're all different to one degree or another. And this one is certainly different. This one is yet another take on the Ninja Turtles and their origin story and things like that, which they redo the origin story every time. Sometimes Splinter was a rat that got humanized, and sometimes he was a human that got turned into a half a rat. Like, you know what I mean? They change the origin all the time. Different aspects. That's just one example of how they've changed the origin multiple times. So there were some differences in the origin from other versions that I've seen, but the movie itself was actually pretty good. April O'Neil still looks like a little troll doll. Like, I don't know why they took a character who typically has been, artistically drawn or rendered to be kind of the quote unquote hot reporter, right? That's typically the way April is portrayed in just about everything TMNT that exists. They decided to make her kind of a little short, chunky, troll-like fucking character, which was weird. But the character itself, like, it wasn't a bad character. The voiceover work was done well, and the character was portrayed well. You know what I mean? As far as, like, her personality and stuff. I just don't understand why they drew her that way.
Because Western animation has to make every female look ugly as fuck and overweight.
And I don't know why.
Actually, I think the April character models modeled after somebody that works on the show.
Oh, really?
They got self-insert.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
they got self-insert themselves and stuff.
Well, and maybe that's what it was. I have no idea. But despite that, the movie was actually a lot of fun. It was actually pretty good. I really liked that they totally brought in all these different mutant characters that in most versions of Ninja Turtles, we don't how many times have we gotten Mondo Gecko? You know what I mean? Or Wingnut, or you know what I mean? Like all these different. They brought in all the crazy mutant characters that you would get once in a while, right? And they were always spread out. You'd never get two of them in the same comic or the same episode of a cartoon or whatever, right? Like they were all in this movie. And they were all done really well. Like they were all good characters, all these good, cool, unusual, weird mutant characters that you've never seen all on screen at the same time. And the story was good. It was pretty basic. It was an origin story. It played a lot with, it started with, their origin and how they were found, and Splinter and all this stuff. Splinter's a little weird. Like they went the route of Splinter. In this one, Splinter was originally a rat who got exposed to the mutagen and became a rat man. They did do one thing that kind of bugged me, but it kind of worked with the movie, which was they basically learned martial arts from Splinter deciding when they were babies that he couldn't trust humans and that he wanted to protect them. So he went out and bought all these videotapes of martial arts and all this stuff. And they basically learned by watching TV and shit. That's how they learned martial arts, which is weird because Splinter was never a martial artist. And they learned everything from basically watching videotapes and TV and Bruce Lee movies and Taibo, fucking Billy Blank's Taibo was one of the things they had watched. And, all this crazy shit, right? That's how they learned martial arts, which was weird. And I've never seen that version of it before. Because usually there's some link to Splinter already knowing martial arts when he finds the turtles, right?
So I got a question.
Being the pet of somebody who knew martial arts.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
And Yeah, his master was also he taught. Did he taught Shredder too? Like, was he one of Shredder's students?
Now, first of all, Shredder's not in this movie.
Right. No, but like the original, like with with the original with like Splinter's master, the one that kept him. Was
right.
he Shredder's?
Well, it depends on what version you watch, because in some versions, Splinter was originally a human who got mutated into a human rat guy, and in some versions, he was a rat that got mutated, and you know what I mean? Like, it depends. So some versions of him started out as a rat, and some versions of him started out as a human. It depends on which version you're watching, or the comics, and there's been different comics where he's had different origins. So it kind of depends. In this one, he was a rat that
But in the original 80s series,
what's
if we go from the TV show, 80s
in the
TV show, he was a human first.
Yeah, in the 80s cartoon, he was a human first who got morphed into a rat.
Then the movies, he was a rat that got morphed into
which is more like the original 80s comic, where he was a rat first. He was a rat who was the pet of this guy who knew Shredder.
Right.
And he trained in his cage when he watched his owner train. Like, it's weird
right,
shit.
yeah.
It's
That's the one that I remember.
Look, Ninja Turtles has always been fucking weird. Okay,
but great,
always
though.
been fucking weird, and that's part of the fun of it, and that's what I like about it. This was
Isn't there a version?
What?
Isn't there a version of the origin story where it's in the realm of Daredevil, because the same stuff that blinded Daredevil actually was what mutated him?
That's the original comic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the goo that got Daredevil leaked down into the sewers, and that's where TMNT was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
What is your favorite Billy Blanks movie? And I will answer first. Showdown, 1993, the one where he teaches the high school kid how to fight. It's like Karate Kid.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I've never seen a movie Billy Blanks was in. Like, I was aware that he had been a martial arts guy that had been in some movies, but I mostly know him from his Tybo fucking videotapes and shit that he would advertise on TV.
I watched his movies. I don't remember the titles of none of his movies. No,
I don't think I've ever seen a Billy Blanks movie.
I think you might have.
The answers are really gay.
I mean, maybe I have.
Yeah,
I've certainly never seen one where he was the main character.
If you listed all of the movies, I might know them.
I don't think he's ever been the main. He's always like the like side character, or like the guy. Yeah. He plays Mr. Miyagi. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And maybe I have seen movies he was in. If I did, I don't remember.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't remember the movie titles, but I remember the movies.
His episode of Very Odd Parents, that was the best one.
But this is another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle weird movie, and it was fun. I highly recommend if you like.
The animation is really cool. I like the animation.
Yeah, the animation was really good. The animation was good. The story was good. All the voice work was good. Goofy origin story. Lots of crazy mutants with lots of crazy personalities. Good plot for the movie, and the movie kind of walks through like them basically becoming, over the course of the movie, like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that everybody in the city knows, right?
And it doesn't like have them super fixated on pizza, like somebody's sponsoring, like a pizza place wasn't sponsoring this one.
Have you ever seen the Teenage Mutant N-word Turtles on YouTube? It's a bunch of black guys who do a voiceover for the movie. And it's fucking so funny, dude.
Actually, I think it's one guy that does all of the voices.
I'm not sure, but yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny as shit.
No, I've never seen that, but no, it was good, man. I actually liked it, and I was very standoffish on this movie because of Seth Rogen, who I mean, like, I'm not a huge Seth Rogen fan. Like, he's been in a bunch of movies that I watched, right? Like, he's in 40-Year-Old Virgin. He's in a bunch of stuff that are really good, really funny movies. But I'm I'm not a Seth Rogen fan. You know what I mean? So the fact that he was like, this was his movie, you know what I mean? I was a little leery of it.
He made this movie?
Yeah, this was his movie. Yes, he. I think he produced it and wrote it, and yeah, all that.
I'll say it's good in spite of that. I didn't see any.
Yeah, and it was still really good. Like, despite Seth Rogen's involvement, it was still a really good movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Because he's one of them comedians where you're hearing his jokes or he's setting himself up for that. He's not in it. Like I wouldn't know.
No, he's not in it. I don't even think he does any of the voices in it or anything.
No, he has no influence in it. I mean,
yeah,
that's good.
But
I had to watch it twice. I watched it the first time and I was like, and then I watched it a second time and I paid a little bit more attention. And I think the animation won me over. The story is okay. I understand that it's going to change. It wasn't that great, but it was okay. And I guess they wanted to bring in new characters a bit, so at least to me, new characters. But I thought it was pretty good. Second time.
Well, yeah, and I liked it because I knew all those characters that don't get a lot of love in most of the different versions of.
So none of them are brand new; they're all real.
You know what I mean? And so the fact that they threw all those characters in the movie, and they were all pretty prominent characters. You know what I mean? All those different mutants, and
Is their origin story like one guy made them all?
The what?
I'm not used to all of them. So is their origin story real? That they all come from that one guy?
Well, they're all it depends on whether you're reading the original comics, whether you're reading the Archie comics, whether you watch the original animated series. Okay. But yes, they're all tied to the same mutagen. Yes. I mean, the mutagen created all of them. Pretty much in any version of Ninja Turtles
Well, I know that part, but I mean, I guess the part where the one guy...
Where they're all connected to Baxter Stockman?
Yeah.
I don't know if Baxter Stockman is the origin in every version or not. I don't remember. Because in some versions, he's just another mutant. That gets turned... Like in this movie, it was his creation that became the fly mutant. In other versions, Baxter Stockman actually mutates into a half fly, half human.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So it depends on.
He looks so different. I totally forgot about that more cartoon version of him.
Yeah. So it depends on which version, but I mean, it was again. Every version's been a little bit different of TMNT. Every version's a little bit different. Do
you know off the top of your heads when you're reading the comics from back in the day, how many comics into it before they figure out what the slime is?
Oh, dude, I have no idea. I haven't read those comics in so long.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too. That's what I was wondering.
Say this: I recently went back and watched the first, I think, like 3 episodes or something like that of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon from back in the day. And by far, the most badass of all of the turtles in the first couple episodes is Michelangelo, because he just like fucks everything. Like everyone's like trying to figure shit out, and Michelangelo's just like, and then he fucking like kicks everyone's ass, dude. I'm changing my answer. Michelangelo is my favorite turtle.
Yeah, Raphael's always been essentially the best.
It was Leonardo for me growing up.
The best animated series is the 2003 Ninja Turtle series. It runs from 2003 to 2010. It was really good.
Yeah, I got to watch that one because we've talked about that one before. But yeah, that's one I've never seen. But I don't know, man. It was a good movie, man. I recommend it. If you like TMNT stuff, this is a good movie to watch. It was a lot of fun. I thought they did a good job.
Just like I said, I picked the Nickelodeon version up on DVD. It was pretty good.
I'm gonna have to check it out. Is it on the site?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's on there. It's in HD too.
Awesome.
So,
is there anything that's not on the site?
Yeah, I find stuff all the time still.
I mean, everything's on the site. It's just a matter of whether or not it's in a good version. And
I don't watch something old.
The only things I really like to watch that I don't mind watching in a bad version is like comedies where, you know what I mean? It's about the humor. It's not necessarily about the visuals. You know, anything that's got special effects or anything animated or anything like that. Like I wait till the HD version is available before I watch it.
I like the quality, but for me, it's when it buffers. That's when I can't. I don't even want to watch it if I got to keep waiting.
Oh, dude, if it starts buffering, I won't watch anything.
Yeah, I'll wait and watch it tomorrow or the next day or something.
Yeah, which happens a lot on Fridays and Saturday nights when you can tell their servers are getting slammed with a bunch of people watching stuff.
And that's when I'll watch weird old stuff, like old TV series or something.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever come after people for doing that? Like anyone's gonna get in trouble for just fucking watch? Because there's so many people doing it, you know?
Well, no, because there's nothing illegal about it. It's not illegal to watch. It's illegal to download from those sites, but you're not downloading anything. You're just watching something. Just like it's not illegal if somebody uploads some copywritten content to YouTube and you watch it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not illegal. You didn't do anything wrong. Now, maybe the person who uploaded it did.
Just don't be an idiot and hit the download button.
Yeah, just don't ever download anything from those websites.
It'd be like if you listen to the radio, then that's one thing. But if you record it and start charging people to listen to it, that's when they start having a problem.
Do you remember making mixtapes back in the day?
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
No, totally. People who run these websites are doing some crazy illegal shit, but they're all like in China or India or wherever, so they don't give a crap. But
this is Pakistan.
But no, you can watch that stuff all you want. It's not illegal. Just to watch
the movie on there.
Yeah,
I just don't understand how they're making any money. You know what I mean? Like
ads, those pop-ups.
I guess it's the pop-ups. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is.
Through quantity.
I mean, you figure they make a couple cents every time one of those things pop up. They get 1 million people, you know, at any given time. Let's say on a Saturday, 1 million people, each multiple times throughout a movie getting, let's say they get 5 pop-ups. Let's say they get a penny for every pop-up. And every time somebody watches, they get 5 pop-ups. They make 5 cents. Then you do that times 1 million on a Saturday. How much money is that they made for what? Running a server.
That's $50,000.
Yeah, for running a server and uploading movies and TV shows.
I just checked the 2003 series is on the website.
Yep.
It's probably run by somebody who sells blenders because so many people are convinced to put a bunch of change in their blender and they think money's going to pop out of it.
Yes.
But like your bus pass and some change in your blender and money's going to pop out. That happens like every 5 times during a movie.
Every day. Yeah. So, but yeah, so yeah, the website's cool, but and then TMNT Mutant Mayhem was a good movie. I think it's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, but whatever. It was a good movie. I give it 2 thumbs up
because you gave it so much shit. I watched that Meg show.
Oh, part 2, dude! I couldn't even get through it.
It wasn't that good. It was not good.
I'm telling you, it's not good at all. I got maybe halfway through the movie. And what's funny is the first half of the movie, there's like no
giant shark movie.
Oh,
he's only in it twice.
And
it's not that giant.
At
the end, he jams a piece of metal up in it, and the shark is like twice as big as a shark.
Yeah, when did the sharks actually show up? I gave up. I think
at the very fucking last moment because. Oh, I forget why the reason, but something was keeping them away or something was bothering them. It was all about something else. And then when it blows up, the shark shows up.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I was like not seeing any sharks in this shark movie. And it was just boring. And I didn't even, I made it like halfway through the movie.
That's what it was. There was a giant octopus.
So what are you talking about?
Octopus kills people and then the sharks show up.
They show them the Meg, you know, in the beginning of the movie because that guy's, you know, acting like he's training it or whatever.
Yeah, and that's it. And then you don't see it for like an hour.
Yeah, the rest of the movie's just inside of tubes and whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't make it through the whole movie. I was bored I didn't, and which sucks because I really like the first Meg. I like the
And
first
my
movie.
problem is I'm very highly sensitive to any submarine movies because of the recent trauma I've gone through watching the news.
As we all are. As we all are.
Yes.
What are you talking about, Matt? Meg 2 is one of the best movies made this year.
That was not a good movie at all. And I was really disappointed because as much as I liked the first one, I was really hoping for a good sequel, and I was very, very disappointed.
It was all right.
I mean, it was well made. Like say they paid the one dude $20 million or whatever. Like it was a real movie. That's why I figured it was worth watching.
Yeah. Okay, we talked about this a little bit last night on your chat, Jared, but I did see a trailer this week that I'm very excited about, and that's the new Godzilla movie coming out, Godzilla -1. What? That thing looks awesome. Yeah, so there's a new Godzilla movie coming out. Is it in October or November? I can't remember when it's coming out.
Yeah, I can't remember when it's out, but it looks really good.
And it's like it looks like it takes place in the 50s. 50s or 60s, maybe. I can't remember. It's like a sequel to the original Godzilla movie. And I'll be honest. I mean, it's a Japanese movie, but it does look like it's going to be dubbed. It's going to be released in theaters here. And but the special effects look amazing. The the action and just like it's like it's in Japan in like the 1950s or 60s and the Godzilla's cometh, right? And it's like the military against Godzilla. I don't know. Go watch it. It's called Godzilla -1. Trailers are all over YouTube this week. Highly recommend it. I highly recommend checking out the trailer. I don't know, movie. I'm assuming the movie's going to be pretty good. Come on, it's a Godzilla movie.
It looks what they showed of Godzilla. He looks like the traditional Godzilla too. He don't look like that stupid Shin Godzilla.
Yes, exactly. But it looked really
that's
good.
The main reason this movie got made because they hate it. The actual owners of Godzilla hated Shin Godzilla.
Yeah. It looked pretty good. The trailer was great. So I definitely want to go see this one. That's one I'll go to the movies to see that. It looked really cool. So I love a good Godzilla movie, except for that 1998 Godzilla movie with Ferris Bueller in it. Although, can I just admit, knowing how bad that movie is, I have gone back and watched it a couple of times over, like, let's say the last 10 years. And when you go to watch that movie, knowing it's going to be a bad movie, it's much more enjoyable. So I will give it a little credit for like, okay, this is an Americanized Godzilla movie from the late 90s with Ferris Bueller in it. Okay, whatever. It's stupid, it's dumb, but there is a little bit of enjoyment.
You watch it as a monster movie and not as a Godzilla movie?
Yes.
It's more enjoyable that way.
Yeah.
Now that you have a more enlightened opinion of genders, you're willing to watch that movie with a more open mind?
Yeah.
Godzilla fans call that Godzilla, the 98 Godzilla, Geno. Godzilla in name only.
Yeah. It's not a good movie, but like it's the inconsistency of the size of the creature is all over the place in that movie too.
Yeah. And the depth of the water that he's standing in, like, oh, I'm swimming in it. No, I'm standing in it. No, I'm swimming in it.
And sometimes his eyes is as big as 2 stories of a building. Then next minute, his eye is like the size of a human.
Yeah.
What about that one for Apple TV?
I was just going to say that. I can't remember the name of it. Is it just called Monarch?
What?
I think so. Wait,
the animated Godzilla series on Netflix, those are awful.
Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Yeah. Have y'all seen this trailer?
Yeah, that's the trailer I've seen.
So yeah, Apple Plus TV, Apple TV Plus, whatever the name of this shit is going to be, I think it's in November, right, Leo?
You're not allowed to play trailers anymore.
I don't know.
Anyway, coming soon at some point, there is and it's go look it up. Monarch,
Russell.
Legacy of Monsters trailer.
November 17th.
November 17th.
November 17th.
November 17th. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so it's coming in November, and it's a series, like 10 episodes of, and it's about Monarch and Godzilla and all the monsters and all that stuff. It's a play on the movies. We've gotten 4 movies, right? We got Godzilla, we got Godzilla versus King Kong, we got Kong Skull Island, and then we got Godzilla King of the Monsters. So we've gotten 4 movies. This is going to be a series based out of that world, and it takes place. It was hard to tell, but I feel like it takes place slightly in the future after all the stuff in these movies has happened.
Yeah,
but what it is it's Kurt Russell playing some kind of military scientist type dude, and the series is broken up into 2 time periods where Kurt Russell is in the current time period, like after all the Godzilla versus King Kong movies have come out, right? And something's going on. And they're trying to fix something that happened in the past having to do with Monarch and all these monsters. And in the past, Kurt Russell's character is played by his real-life son, Wyatt Russell. And so they are playing the same character at 2 different time.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's him. That's his son playing him in the past. And the trailers look really good. I like those movies for the most part. I don't like Godzilla versus Kong. That movie has a lot of problems that I just do not like at all. And then
I liked the fight scene.
First,
the fight scene, not the story.
There's some okay stuff visually in that movie, but whatever. The first Godzilla movie, I think, is a good movie, but it doesn't focus enough on Godzilla, and it focuses
100%.
too much. It focuses too much on the human characters, I think, and that's why that movie is okay. It's not a bad movie. It's just not what people wanted in a
King of the Monsters was so much better.
King of the Monsters is awesome, and also I love Kong Skull Island. I love those 2 movies. I think those 2 movies are great. Those are the 2 best ones. So this plays off. This is in that universe. So I'm looking forward to the new show. I hope it's good. I love Kurt Russell, and I like his son quite a bit. Wyatt Russell, I think most people know what do most people know him for now? Playing John Walker in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think, is what he's most known for now, probably at this point.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So
I just watched the trailer for the Monarch Legacy Monsters, and it's clearly the MonsterVerse Godzilla.
Yeah. So it looks good. I'm looking forward to that one. I hope it's good. We'll have to wait and see, I guess, like everything. But I overall, even though I was not a fan at all of Godzilla versus Kong,
the worst part about that movie was the helicopters carrying Kong. No way.
And you weren't doing chats with us back when that movie came out in 2021. So for me, let me just break this movie down for you. That movie makes no fucking sense in any way, shape, or form.
No.
That movie has so many fucking plot holes in it. Like the fact that, so we've got this underground monster world that is somewhere south of Antarctica, right? And it's deep enough into the crust that you have to take a warp tunnel to get there, right? Towards the center of the earth, right? And then once you get there, Godzilla can shoot a beam straight up into another direction towards Japan. And then somehow, even though it took like half an hour, because they say something about it taking like 20 or 30 minutes through this warp tunnel to get to the center of the earth, through a warp tunnel, somehow in 5 minutes, King Kong can climb up the hole that Godzilla shot through the crust, and he can get to Japan in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Without a warp tunnel.
Yeah, I know. The fucking
all the way to fucking Japan in 5 minutes to go fight Mecha Godzilla.
And not
It
to
makes
mention
no sense whatsoever.
The entire underground world underneath the Earth. We kind of need the Earth's molten magnetic core for the planet to be habitable.
Yeah, there was a lot about that movie didn't make a damn bit of sense. I was not a fan of that, and it sucked because I was really looking forward to that movie after King of the Monsters, because I think King of the Monsters is a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
I love that
such
movie.
a growth spurt from Kong, from King of the Monsters to
he was
still small in King of the Monsters.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, because like I said, Godzilla was a solid movie, but obviously it was lacking in a lot of ways. People wanted it. Then they come out with Kong Skull Island, which I thought was a great introduction of King Kong. And
then didn't that have Samuel L. Jackson in it?
It had Samuel L. Jackson. Then King of the Monsters comes out, and it's fantastic, and it's all building to this Godzilla versus Kong, and I was so looking forward to this movie, and I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed in that movie, man. But I digress. This new Monarch series looks pretty good, so I'm hoping it is. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you think if it was picked up by a better director, it could actually be fantastic?
What, Kong versus Godzilla?
Yeah, and if so, who would you want to redo it, redirect it?
They're doing another movie.
Yeah, they're doing another movie. I mean, they're still keeping the franchise going.
Well, I know that, but I'm talking about that one particular movie.
I don't know who did King of the Monsters. Wasn't that like Gareth Edwards or something like that? I can't remember. Whoever did King of the Monsters should have done, or maybe it wasn't even the director. It could have just been whoever wrote the freaking plot. I don't know. Because it wasn't the special effects, it wasn't the action, and it wasn't the characters that were bad. It was the plot of the movie and the execution of the plot that made no sense. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if it was the director's fault. I mean, I guess everything's the director's fault, but that's his job. But maybe the same director could have done that with a better story. You know what I mean? That essentially told the same story of Kong and Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, but told it in a better, more consistently plotted way. It could have maybe been a good story and a good movie. I don't know. But for me, it was the details of the movie that pissed me off. Not necessarily the overall theme of Godzilla and Kong fighting and then eventually fighting together to defeat Mechagodzilla. That's all fine. I don't have a problem with those kind of big plot points being in the movie. It's just the execution of the story getting from point A to point B was not executed well. It was done really poorly.
When they went to that world, deep in the tunnel, in the center of the Earth, basically, wasn't the gravity off too? Because how there was shit floating up in the air, and I don't know. That really, it made no sense.
It's the magic rocks.
Yeah. It really, there was just so much weird stuff that made no sense with that movie. And that's what really kind of screwed it up for me. But then again, you know what? Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to watch that movie again. And then we'll talk about it some more next week. Because this is one of those movies that I haven't watched since it came out because I was so disappointed in it. I've never gone back and rewatched it. Maybe I should rewatch it and see if I have a better opinion of it now.
Yeah,
it might be worth doing that. I don't think I'll have a better opinion of it. but I should probably give it a second viewing because I've never tried to watch it again after that first time. I have not one time tried to go back and rewatch that movie. Whereas Kong Skull Island and King of the Monsters, I've watched those movies multiple times. I love those movies. Those movies are fun. Yep. But I've even watched Godzilla, the first one in this movie series. I've watched it probably 3 times. And it's, again, it has issues, but it doesn't have major plot holes. Its issues come from focusing too much on the human characters and not giving people enough giant monsters fighting. You know what I mean? The story is solid. The plot is solid. Like, it's a good movie. It's just when you go see a fucking Godzilla movie, you want to see Godzilla, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's where that
Oh,
movie.
cool.
That's where that movie kind of loses some of it. Is because they just decided, let's do a Godzilla movie, but focus all on the human characters. Well, you got to at least do half and half, man. Come on, it's a Godzilla movie. So, but even that one I've seen probably at least 3 times. So I should give Godzilla versus Kong another shot just to see, and maybe I'll appreciate it more a second go around. So I'll try to do that this week, and I'll give you guys a fresh review on it. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't think the opinion's going to change, though.
I don't think so, but like, who knows? Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe I'll find a way to get some enjoyment out of it somehow.
I did just see something interesting about the Monarch Legacy Monsters.
Oh, yeah?
Wyatt Russell is going to play Kurt Russell's character in different time periods.
I know.
So his son's going to play a younger version of Kurt Russell.
Yeah. You were watching the trailer when we were talking about that, weren't you?
Yes, I was. And it's the new movie is going to be called Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. They're going to be looks like they're going to be facing off a new enemy, another type of ape.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Okay.
I'm down.
It kind of looks almost looks like an orangutan.
Overall, I like these movies. I think they're good, even with my issues with Godzilla versus Kong.
Hopefully,
I'm still looking forward to more movies in the series and the show and all that stuff.
Hopefully, the story, the plot line will be much better than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can only really go up from that one. I mean, you can go way down, the other way, but that's going to be hard to do to get, with the new plot line be that much worse. So I don't know. Yeah. I'll give it a shot, but I'm not going to get my hopes up that it's going to be great after the last one.
Yeah. All right, so we got a little bit of toy news before we close this out tonight, guys. So we're gonna talk about this. I don't have a lot of stories. We discussed a lot of stuff last night on the show. But we're gonna cover a couple things here real quick. So first up, I don't think anybody here cares, but DC Multiverse is doing a new Zur-En-Ah Batman Blacklight edition.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we found the one person who cares.
2.
That's cool.
Anything Blacklight, I'm down.
Yeah, I don't know how, because the pictures don't actually show what I'm guessing
glows.
Yellow on his arms. I don't know.
Maybe.
I do think it's
I
cool.
would say the orange probably glows and the yellow.
Maybe. I will say this is the first one of these blacklight ones that I've seen that actually comes with a blacklight setup.
That's
What,
awesome.
actually comes with it?
Yeah, it actually.
I didn't know it came with it.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Which begs the question: why the hell didn't you do this with the other 4 figures you've put out?
Right.
At this point, like that already, you wait till this one to put this light stand out with the damn figure. You know what I mean?
One thing that I like about it is how it looks like, the original Batman series. The POW and the Wham, all the fucking little pop-up little blimps or whatever you call them. It just looks like that, and I don't know, a little nostalgia there. So I think it's fucking cool.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't care about this version of Batman. This is not something I'm going to pick up, but I do like that it comes with the lights. Like, I would love to get that one for my my glow in the dark Joker over here. So,
Joker, is this coming soon or out now?
Huh?
Is this coming soon?
Coming soon. I think you can pre-order it now, though.
What's the price point on it?
It's probably 30. I'm guessing.
I'll wait till it hits Walmart on a clearance sale like I did those.
Well, I think this is going to be a McFarlane store exclusive, so you're going to have to order this online. This isn't going to go to Walmart or anything.
I mean, 30 is not bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's better
with the light setup.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could easily be retail 50 or 60.
So, But I mean, it's okay. I just like that it comes with the lights. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That it comes with the lights. But yeah, retail $29.99. Okay, it's going to be on Entertainment Earth. So
Sweet.
You can get it. Yeah, look, you can get it on. Pre-order sold out. Never mind, you can't get it. It's sold out.
Bastards. Dirty, rotten scoundrels.
Good luck, people.
It's going to be 80 on eBay.
Yeah, on eBay it'll be 60 or 70. But
yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
because when I sent you that Superman, I was looking at comparable prices just for shits and giggles, and I was seeing it go on eBay and different places, like whatnot, for $50, $60, $70, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I scored very well.
All right, so we got that one. We also got some new carbonized figures coming out for this Ahsoka 2-pack. Now, I do collect some of these. I know some people in the Star Wars collection community absolutely hate carbonized figures. Like, they just hate them because it adds this kind of shimmery, shiny paint to the figures. My opinion on these carbonized figures are that it doesn't usually look good on more human characters, but looks really good on robots and stormtrooper type characters. So I actually like the carbonized look on some figures. It looks okay on Ahsoka here, like with the kind of shimmery, shiny look to him.
Yeah, it looks okay.
It looks okay. It looks good on this dude. Like this dude,
it really does.
This dude looks pretty cool. So I don't know. I mean, this is a Black Series 2-pack, which I don't collect as much Black Series, which is the larger figures, as I do the smaller ones. So I don't know if I'll pick this up. If this was Vintage Series, which is the smaller figures, their vintage collection, I would definitely pick it up. But it still looks cool. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool looking set.
No, it is. It really, it'd be something I might pick up. I mean, not right now, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
But what was that one action figure that Jared was showing last night? It came with an additional zombie head, and it had the different rifles that came with different attachments.
Yeah, that's this one here. I'll show you. Where is it? It's here somewhere.
So that's the one I was like, that's badass, and I don't remember what it's called now.
Where are they? I know I
saw them on Big Bag Toy Store. The monster burst stuff. No, what is it?
Yeah, I thought they had a thing here for them. Oh well. Yeah, but it's the. Let's see. They got it on the front page. Yeah.
That Iron Giant's cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, zombie trooper dude, whatever.
Yeah.
This right here.
It's cool. Yeah.
It comes with the different heads and helmets and all the different stuff.
And you can buy the gear pack to change it up even more.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, there you go with the different, like the chainsaw attachment for underneath the rifle, the grenade launcher.
You get the zombie head and the ballistic shield and all the stuff.
Yeah, that I like that. That's fucking cool. I'm a fan of anything zombie. You know, I'm a huge zombie fan. So
I like this Dahmer dude though. The Frankenstein guy.
Yep.
Oh, he looks cool. Come on, Frankenstein is a World War II warrior. That's awesome, man.
What are those? What are they retailing for?
What are these? 35? $36.99. So they're about the same as a NECA.
Yeah. But those are fucking cool as shit, though, especially that other one.
And then this dude looks cool. And
the one, the brain.
Yeah. Dr. Caligari. Yeah, he looks
kind of reminds me of an alternate version of Mysterio.
Yeah. I love this dude here.
Yeah.
Griffin, the Invisible Man, comes with the translucent head and hands. And
all that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
The translucent hands what is that on the bottom right? That's translucent. I can't quite tell. It doesn't look like
these
hands.
are hands. These are all hands.
Oh, okay, just
It's
the way
got
it
like
looks.
open karate chop style hands, trigger hands.
Oh yeah, okay.
Gripping hands.
Judy chop. You got a Judy chop.
That's why it looked weird, because it was just an open hand and it's a top view, so it just made it look kind of like blades coming out for like Weapon X or something in a Marvel movie where Ryan Reynolds, had the blades coming out of his arms.
Yeah, they look pretty cool though. I like these.
Yes, I wouldn't mind picking up all of them.
I definitely want Frankenstein, man. That dude looks so cool.
I'd like to see what he looks like with his cape on.
Yeah. So yeah, those dudes look cool. I like those. We also got these here. Star Wars holiday season is here. This is something we've been getting for a while. I like the Ewok. I mean, the Ewok's pretty cool. You can always pretend like there's a white Ewok in your collection. I don't generally give a shit about. Like, I do have.
I like the Ewok.
I do have this dude here, and I put him out every holiday season. I picked him up a couple years ago, and
I can't see because of the live banner.
I know. I'm about to put him up. I got this dude here. I put him up on my shelf whenever it's the holiday season.
That's
and I got that little elf hat for him. He's my little Christmas holiday decoration. I put him out. So I have
elf
him
on the shelf.
But for the most part, I don't give a crap about most of these holiday versions of Star Wars stuff.
The Ewok looks like he's got pretty good junk. Size junk.
Yeah.
It looks like a
the Ewok fits in. Like, you could just say there's a white Ewok, right? Like, he would still fit in the collection. Like, that one's not bad.
He looks like a midget abominable snowman or Yeti.
Yes.
That's funny.
He's not bad. This one, I so want this dude. Holy crap, does that not look like a badass stormtrooper?
Fuck yeah. Nutcracker stormtrooper.
It looks like M. Bison in a stormtrooper suit.
He looks like like the I don't know, the general of the stormtroopers. I think this is just a purge trooper or whatever. I can't remember which version of the stormtrooper. But like, holy crap. Like, I don't even care that this one's nutcrackerized. That dude looks badass. Like, they did a good job on this one. He looks like the general of the stormtroopers. Like, I do want that one. He looks pretty sweet. Like, with the shoulder pads and everything. Like, I'm down for that. That dude looks cool.
Did they really have to cross his legs like that? Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Don't care about Christmas Jawa.
That no, but he still looks cool though.
It's just a Jawa. I don't know.
I know.
Christmas Jawa I don't care about.
At least the Jawa gives you back your stuff it already stole from you.
Yeah, I guess.
That thing with Jawa.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying the only one I want is Nutcracker dude. Like, he looks cool.
He does.
Yeah,
is it me or does that creature with Jawa look like one of the gremlins?
That's
I can't remember what it's.
What's his name? He's from Jabba's palace.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I don't know. He kind of looks like a.
His name's on
was that one from He-Man?
Yes, Salacious B. Crumb. There you go. That's
there you
Salacious
go.
B. Crumb. But yeah,
looks like a gremlin.
All right, and then, huh?
I saw on Bombus B. I want to send you a link. They're doing a Marcus werewolf. The Fury Toys. They're doing a special edition. They call it the Marcus edition, like from William, like from Underworld.
Oh, that's cool. I would love some good werewolf and vampire Underworld toys. That'd be pretty cool. But okay, let's talk about the big story of the week. Giant Man coming from HasLab. 2 foot tall giant man. We did talk about this on the show last night.
Damn.
2-foot tall giant man costs $200.
Jeez.
Yeah. And he is, which, I mean, okay, he is as
I
much
collect
plastic.
disc Transformers, so $200 is gonna nothing.
Yeah, well, and you look at a regular figure. So this is a $25 figure.
Yep.
And this dude has as much plastic on him as about 8 or 9 other figures. So this is like $200 worth of plastic. So, I mean, if you're just judging by, the size of a standard figure versus how big this dude is, like, yeah, I mean, he's about $200 worth of plastic on today's market.
I believe it. Isn't he almost as tall as you are?
Yes, that exactly. Yes. 91 points of articulation, which I didn't see all of them, but apparently most of that's in the hands, I guess, because he's got articulated fingers.
29 points articulation just in each hand.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
On Messenger, Matt, I sent you a picture of a size comparison of this new one with the Toy Biz. Apparently, Dwight on the Hasbro team sent a picture, took a picture.
Jared, if you say, you picked this guy up, would you want to risk messing it up to try to customize it and make it into a different character, like Kit Bashit or whatever?
Leave it as is.
Yeah, I'd definitely leave that one alone.
Because that right there, if you take the little antennas off his little forehead, he kind of looks like either Daredevil or Deadpool. So I could see, someone.
Why would you want a Daredevil or Deadpool that big, though?
I'm just saying,
somebody's going to do it, though. Somebody's going to spend $200 on this just to fucking turn him into somebody else.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I can see somebody doing a Goliath or somebody.
Yeah, it's going to happen. But
turn him into Ant-Man.
I mean, he does look good. They did a job. I don't care about the extra faces for the different tiers, which is the zombie face and the scroll head.
Yeah.
Like, that's no, I'm sorry. I don't care about that. Those are fine, I guess. I would never pose him like that, so I don't think it matters, but, whatever, I guess. And then, let me show this. This is what Jared just sent over. So this is him with so we got this previous Toy Biz Giant Man Build-A-Figure, which, by the way, I still want. The problem is, here's the thing, though. That Toy Biz Giant Man, that's like, what's he? He's 12, 13 inches tall, whatever he is. He costs more than $200 now.
Jesus Christ.
I think he's around about 14, something like inches tall. So he's a good sized figure.
He's a good sized figure.
Really dwarfs it.
But he costs more than $200 right now.
That's crazy.
It's still within a jolly price range.
Yeah.
How many points of articulation does the middle one have? The 13, 14 inch tall one.
I'm not sure. Well, let's see. Okay. So hold on. So you can actually go on eBay right now. So look, okay, $170 plus $12 shipping.
It's the purge right now.
Yeah, people are selling them. Here's one for $250. Here's one for $109. He's missing an arm and a leg. $225. There's some leg pieces here. Actually, let's see. So $109 free shipping. You could buy. That's the left foot. You buy this piece for $12. You might be able to piece one together pretty cheap right about now, actually.
Right, probably.
Some of the parts are pretty pricey.
Yeah. He looks like you need that right foot and that right leg to finish this dude out. And then the right arm.
The problem is the arms and legs are both two pieces.
Yeah.
Like you got to get the bicep and part of the forearm, then you got to get the hand, then you get the leg, then you got to get the foot. So it's 4 pieces missing.
Yeah.
I put one of those together back in the day. So it's a pain in the ass to track down back then when it was still easier to get.
So your best bet's probably just like, if you wanted this, like grab this one here. Grab him complete for $170.
Check out some like sold listings, what it was selling for before they announced this.
Yeah, I feel like it was going for more than 200 for a while.
Oh yeah, it was way more.
159, 132.
Those are recent sales.
Oh damn! Somebody got one for $100.
That's a score.
So there's somebody selling one. The one that was missing the leg. There's a leg. That leg sold for $35.
Damn.
Let's go back before. Okay, it sold for 200 plus 20 shipping, 225 plus 20 shipping, 200 free shipping. Let's see, 200. Oh damn! Somebody got one for $60. What the fuck? Why couldn't I have found that dude? Oh my god!
And $12 shipping. Damn.
Jesus.
Yeah, but you could turn around and sell it for a major profit. You know, not major, but a big profit.
150. So, yeah.
Before the announcement, it was selling for 200 plus.
Yeah. Why couldn't I have seen this dude here, man? Holy crap! I would have bought that so quick.
There's something wrong with it.
I don't know. Let's see. In stock, build a figure, complete, played with conditions, scrapes, rubs, paints, chips, no broken parts.
Oh, that guy had it had to be painful to ship that thing.
No broken part. I mean, you can see paint coming off on the antenna and on the belt, on the white. A little bit here. That ain't bad, though.
That's easy touch.
No, it just looks like battle damage.
Yeah, that would have. I totally would have got that.
Hell yeah, why not?
It's totally worth $60 to just do a little bit of touch-up paint.
Yeah, no shit. Wow. Yeah. Well, the new one's coming out, so you got basically a month and a half. You got 5 or 6 weeks to order one if you want one. So, if anybody out there is interested, $200, you can have a 2-foot tall freaking giant man that you're not going to probably have room for, but you'll have a giant man. So,
right
there you go.
I couldn't bring myself to spend $200 on him. You know, that's just
he'll probably be going for $600 pretty quick after he releases.
I don't doubt that.
So, yep. But there he is. So that is our toy news for the day.
Well, in private chat, I put that William Wolf if you want to pull that up real quick.
Let's see.
Once it loads up, you scroll down the bottom, there's a lot of pictures. You can take all that gear off and just have a plain werewolf.
Oh, oh shit! I was looking on Facebook, man. What the hell?
I think everyone in the chat might have fell asleep. No one's been commenting.
It is a StreamYard. The chat may have quit working.
True. This is true.
I'm still here and awake.
Sounds like you barely, though.
There's a lot of pictures down below.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
That's fucking cool. Now, see, I would pay $100 for that because that's fucking badass. The detail is just on point.
Digging
Werewolf
the
and
chainsaw. Yeah.
That why not, right? That's fucking cool.
So you can strip it down to just a regular werewolf too.
Oh, he comes with different legs?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
I mean, I would keep him looking like this, though.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure.
He looks way more badass like that. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like that.
Hell cool. Yeah. Hey, Jared, would you send me that on direct message on Discord?
Yeah.
Because I'm on my phone. I can't do anything with the link.
There you go. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have got through all of our news for the day. And I think it is time to wish everyone farewell.
No, we got to go another 2 hours.
Be saying goodbye. No, we don't actually. I gotta go to Quinn's tomorrow because I am remembering this time. I gotta go to Quinn's tomorrow and help get him set up with his camera and everything on StreamYard and get him all set up. So, gotta do that.
Quinn, aka 709.
Yeah, 709. We're gonna get him set up. Well, so hopefully that doesn't happen again once he gets it set up because he was running off his phone. So we're gonna get him set up on his computer. He's got his computer back there. So we get him set up on that so he can. So if he wants to hop on shows or do his own streams or anything like that, he can. Because he's got a YouTube channel too, and so if he wants to stream to his YouTube channel or do any of that stuff, he can do all that stuff from his computer there in his shop. So. But that's what I'm going to be doing for a little while tomorrow afternoon. So
far, the only
do you got a link to put in?
I got one comment in the chat. Suggestions of calling our stream. They said the Geek Express.
The Geek Express. I like that.
Do you have a link to put in his chat?
Or Geek Express or Collector Fusion? That's not bad. That's not a bad name, by the way. Neither one of those is bad. I like both of those.
Yeah.
That's not
Do you
bad.
have a link to his channel?
Quinn's channel? I do not. No. He's Quinn's Comics on YouTube. Let me see.
I'm gonna have to look him up. Does he actually show like his store and like give like a tour?
I don't know if he's done any tour videos. I can't remember.
If he hasn't, you might suggest that to him because I'd be interested to see how his store is, what he's got, and everything.
Where is he? I know I'm subscribed to him, but I don't know if he's posted any videos.
He's got some videos.
I can't find his channel.
I'll send it to you here in a second.
Why can't I find his channel?
Fucking Gerald Cagney, that's funny.
Ah, there we go. Okay, I found it.
Cool.
All right.
I'll put it there in the chat. And then I'll put it in the private chat. Yeah. Oh, he's got his commercial. By the way, he's got this. I got to show you guys this. Hold on. I got to show you this video.
Wasn't it Quinn that you picked up that shredder that had a damaged box and everything?
No. I picked that one up on eBay.
Oh, I thought you got it from Quinn.
No.
Quinn Comics, your friendly neighborhood comic.
Yeah, I got to share this. Mostly just because of his car. His car is awesome. His car is in there. This is a commercial.
Quinn Comics, your friendly neighborhood comic shop. Quinn Comics is a fine selection of comics, mangas, and graphic novels, with a large selection of action figures and collectibles too. Don't forget the card and board game accessories while you're there. Also, gift cards can make great gift ideas. Love what you're hearing? Sign up for the Quinn Comics pull list while you're there and never ever miss an issue. Quinn Comics is the place for you. They're also pet friendly. And don't forget to check out their Star Wars themed coffee shop, Mos Eisley Coffee Cantina. So what are you waiting for? Make your way to Quinn Comics.
That's his car.
Yeah, that's cool. Mystery machine.
Always parked in the shop. Always parked in front. So that's how you know he's there, is when his car is parked out front. So,
that's funny.
Which one is it? The black one or the blue one?
The what?
Was it the black one or the blue one?
Yeah, I don't know. Which one is his? I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for today. We will see you guys next time. We'll be back here. Well, not here. We'll be back here next week, in addition to the videos that I post up throughout the week. And then we'll be back here for more Week in Geek on Saturday. Back here on Friday for Geek Express or Collector Fusion or whatever it's called. I don't know.
I like Collector Fusion.
Yeah, either way. And then, of course, Jared, you've got your chat tomorrow night. So we'll be there tomorrow night. And then we'll be back on the NEA channel on Monday for the G&G podcast. So that will do it for today. We will see you guys later. Have fun. Deuces, yo, all that good stuff. And
stay geeky.
Enjoy your weekend. We're only halfway through the weekend, so there's a lot left to enjoy. So enjoy it and have some fun. Do something fun. I don't know what. Do something geeky. Watch some One Piece if you haven't yet, by the way.
Yes.
I really liked it. So
do it.
See you guys next time. Guys.
Live long and prosper.